Are we alone? Many the world over believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life, though it has yet to be officially observed and announced under the microscope of reputable members of the scientific disciplines. A considerable portion of Western civilization also lay claim to experiences that can only be described as anomalous. The majority of these claims involve, but may not be limited to, the presence and/or interaction with unidentified flying objects. This term, coined by the United States Air Force and abbreviated to UFO, has become synonymous with extraterrestrial life through colloquial use alongside terms such as flying saucers and little green men. Area 51, Roswell, the Black Mailbox, Betty and Barney Hill, the battle above LA, unexplained cattle mutilation, the Dyatlov Pass incident, Foo Fighters, Rendlesham Forest, Project Sign, Grudge, and Blue Book. Chances are you've heard of more than a few of these places, concepts, and events, and there's no plausible doubt that your knowledge is inexplicably linked to conspiracy, visitors from beyond the stars, and the phenomena we call UFOs. Even here on the tiny island we call home, there is no escape from whispers and rumor of otherworldly goings-on. Hertfordshire woman Gil Lysicatos claims to have had her own experience with what she believes to be extraterrestrial forces, categorized as a close encounter of the second kind on the Hynek scale, characterized as an encounter with a UFO, or related phenomena which involves an alleged physical effect on either the witness or the environment. The Hynek scale refers to a list of categories an encounter can fit into based on certain criteria, recognized universally in the field of ufology due to J. Allen Hynek's involvement with Project Blue Book. Blue Book was a U.S. Air Force study into the nature and potential threat of UFOs, coinciding with the Cold War, and intended to study, prove, and disprove the existence of the phenomenon. This once classified initiative was preceded by two similar projects, the first of which, Grudge, is responsible for the link between anomalous UFO activity and alleged alien visitation, the influence of which is so palpable that the mere word UFO carries alien connotations regardless of context. Returning to our case, Lysicatos claims to have experienced engine-like sounds in relation to a beam of light, which, defying the conventional laws of physics, came through the bedroom wall, as though its mass, opacity, and density was ignored near completely, and focused upon a series of wired lights around her bedroom window. Occurring at circa 2:30 a.m., summer 2017, Lysicatos also claims to have been paralyzed, supposedly by fear and an inability to comprehend the situation, after which the engine sound and beam of light slowly faded with distance and vanished. From a ufological standpoint, it should be noted that close encounters of the second kind often occur in relation to Foo Fighters, a semi-regular experience for World War II pilots, wherein they would perceive balls of light that moved in odd, impossible to replicate maneuvers, and would often affect electrical instruments aboard planes. The prior account proves unconventional in terms of context in UFO accounts. However, our next experience, that of Irishman, father, and professional photographer John Smith, is both a more traditional encounter but also presents troubling video evidence. One night, Smith spots two mysterious lights hovering in sky outside his home, a story which members of his family present at the time can corroborate. He was generous enough to let us show the footage he recorded to support his claims. On screen is the full, unedited video evidence of Smith's account, highlighting the strange aerial behavior of the objects. On the Hynek scale, this encounter is classified as a nocturnal light, which are characterized by glowing craft, or orbs of light, that appear in the night sky. Similar cases were reported across Ireland en masse that year, and each bears striking similarities. John Smith also claims to have encountered similar entities in the skies a number of weeks later, this time glowing a notable red color. The reasons for this variation is as unexplainable as the majority of accounts regarding UFO phenomenon. Our journey started with us venturing to the Merseyside area, considered a national hotbed of UFO phenomenon, but our efforts there were for naught. Even though Liverpool is reportedly one of the most active locations nationwide in terms of sightings, we found it difficult to reach anyone in the area with a story to tell, but it was obvious we were looking in the wrong places. It was then that the scope of the topic became apparent. It was planetary, global, We scoured online forums and social media outlets to share stories from people all over the UK, to have their voices heard. We have learned that UFO sightings come in many different forms and are present in various locations worldwide. That is where our journey ends. It is likely that the truth is, more often than not, more mundane than extraterrestrial visitation, but there will always be that feeling, the inkling that something isn't quite right. Whether that is part of our makeup as human beings, bound to the earth by every law of nature besides human initiative and determination, or a more existential feeling of paranoia regarding those outside our tiny dome remains to be explained. Do UFOs exist? By their very definition, irrefutably. Do aliens exist? Without a doubt. Are they linked? Well, that is the question.